for Kansas. Ellis and Traylor up front. Traylor and Costello on the tip. And we're underway with the Spartans holding the first possession of the night. No Gavin Schilling, so Costello's going to get a lot of minutes. Javon Best, the power forward. We'll also see a very talented freshman, Deontay Davis, who had a double-double in his first game for Michigan State. Valentine, off-balance floater, and ripping down the rebound is Traylor.
I'll tell you one thing, both these clubs played international last year. I mean, this summer you had, for example, Michigan State over in Italy, and you had the World University games were won by Kansas.
Yep. The vast majority of that team, Kansas, Nick Moore of SMU, and a couple of other players also on the team. That was in South Korea as Ellis lays it in. Michigan State played a club team and then 3 national teams, Italy, Russia, and Georgia, on their trip to Italy.
I think Ellis is going to be tough for them to handle. He was the MVP in the Orlando Classic, and they beat Michigan State in the final. I did that game, and they really had a tough time handling him down in the post.
Wild shot by Graham. And now with the post, Matt Costello to the other end. He spent a lot of the summer working on his post moves, including the jump hook.
He also worked on getting engaged. He got engaged in the summer. Yeah.
He ties the game at 2, 1 minute and 15 in. Ellis back for his senior season. Selden. And he is fouled by Nairn, and that's the example of the kind of foul you'll see more this year than you saw last year.
You're going to watch Costello here posted up. Going to have a little drop step move here. Spins to the baseline. Little jump hook off the glass. Very effective. You know, you just mentioned about the refs blowing a whistle. It can be a little painful early for a lot of teams because they're going to put people on the free throw line. But if you're going to clean it up, you got to blow the whistle. And the coaches have to buy into it.
And the coaches have been coaching that at practice time and time again. Selden lowered the shoulder and gets called for the offensive foul.
It'll take at least 3 years to get where they want to go if you want that fluidity. Here it is right there. There's the contact with the shoulder. If you want that fluid game and not all the physical contact that we've had.
You like the changes? You like the new rules?
I like some of the new rules. I think some of them are overboard, but I like some of them. I think some of them are good.
You like the shot clock down to 30?
Absolutely. You would think that would favor, though, the more talented team because you have more possessions. However, early this year, it's been unpredictability. There's been so many upsets. Monmouth beat UCLA, and then give me a whole list of them.
Now Valentine down in the post. Kicks it out. Best with a foot on the line. Gets the bounce.
They're hoping a good year out of him. He missed 27 games last year. Had an injury.
And a foot injury cost him 10 games at the beginning of the season, then re-injured it, missed the last 17. In this lineup, kind of an undersized 4-man, as Mason can't bank at home and Costello down with a rebound.
See, if I'm Kansas right now, I want to pound the ball inside, get Costello in foul trouble, because Michigan State is very limited size-wise.
Without Schilling. Costello for 3.
Also without a kid by the name of Clark. Physical, strong player.
Marvin Clark coming back from the foot injury, still a few days away. Good hustle there by Jamari Traylor and a fresh possession for Kansas.
He's back home in the Windy City.
And Mason on the drive, fouled by Costello. Whenever you get a mismatch, you got to believe the guard is going to put it on the deck against the big guy and try to draw the foul. And now we will get our first look at Deontay Davis, 6'10" freshman.
Here's a little mismatch. There's the strength, good power move to the goal. I mean, with their driving guards, Selden and Mason, they should go to the free throw line often, especially with the new rule, the way they're blowing the whistle.
Davis, number 23 in white, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks in Michigan State's opening season win over Florida Atlantic. Kansas is also 1-0. They had a lopsided win over Northern Colorado. Valentine, the kick. This is Bryn Forbes. He can really shoot it. Second-year former Cleveland State player.
He lost a lot of weight, lost about 10 pounds. Nice pass, look inside.
And the finish for Bess.
Bess around the basket. Nice little backdoor cut.
And it's 6-2 Michigan State, 3 minutes in. Ellis shot a good percentage from beyond the arc last year. Didn't take a ton, but he made 39%.
So I would go inside Ellis. That would really make them have to guard Ellis on a post.
He's got a height advantage on Bess, and they do it, Dick, and he banks it in.
Wow! I made the right call one time. I tell you, the right call is working with you, man. You're tremendous.
Looking forward to another great season and Excited to be here at this event tonight. Kentucky beating Duke in the first game, and now Kansas, as you said, going inside to Ellis.
Right in the post move. He's got a lot of moves down in that low box. He really is very effective, very efficient and deep. See, they're limited in how they can play him because they don't have a lot of size, as we said earlier. Missing Schilling and Clark.
Some subs coming in for the Spartans. Tom Izzo going to his bench early tonight. Aaron Harris, a transfer who sat out last year from West Virginia, is into the game. A freshman, Matt McQuaid, 6'5" guard, and also Colby Wallenman, the fifth-year senior, who's headed to medical school next year. And who had some big moments, got a chance to play more than expected last year for the Spartans and made the most of it.
I mean, Harris has great potential. He averaged 17 points a game in the Big 12 for West Virginia. In fact, he put 28 on the board in a game against Kansas, 32 on Baylor.
Valentine off to Wallenman, kicks it back out, stolen away, 2-on-1.
Give it up.
Graham to Brandon Green, and a reach-in foul called on Harris.
Gave that ball up just a little bit too soon. One extra dribble, allowed the offensive player to go to the basket, would have had a layup.
2-point lead, Spartans early.
Presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today. And Gildan. Every thread counts.
I do like our team, but I think we got a lot of really nice players. Depth will be one of the good things about us. For teams to become great, there also usually needs to be some separation too, so that way roles can be more easily defined. Because right now we got 11 guys that think they're going to play all the time. Certainly, that's not going to happen.
Well, they do return a lot, and by today's standards, they're an experienced team. They got 2 seniors, 4 juniors, and a couple of sophomores all in the rotation, and they are led by this trio of Ellis, Mason, and Selden. Those 3, about half of their scoring from last year. Before, let's go to Shannon Spade.
Yeah, well, Bill Self told me today that he wants Wayne Selden to be the X factor for his team. That is the adjective he wants everyone to be calling him at the end of this season. When I spoke with Selden this week, he said, listen, I've definitely shied away from the moment in the past. I cannot do that. I've got to be mentally tough, and my focus is to be the alpha dog this season.
Well, he was the alpha dog at the World University Games in Korea in July. He was the MVP of that tournament, averaging better than 19 points per game, and Bill Self would love to see a little bit more of that in Lawrence this year. Brandon Green, who can really shoot it, 6'7", comes off the bench, knocks down the free throws to tie the game.
How good a shooter? Bill Self told me before the game he's the best shooter I've ever coached here at Kansas. The best. Now, that's a heck of a statement to make. Talking about great shooters, I mentioned Forbes earlier. He put on weight. He got stronger physically.
Well, Tom Izzo said Bryn Forbes was the MVP of the summer, added about 15 pounds of muscle. Here's Valentine, who's assisted on all 3 Michigan State buckets so far. Now with 3. Off the back of the iron, and the offensive rebound for Davis. Harris will step into a 3. And surrounded by the Jayhawks, Landon Lucas comes down with a rebound for Kansas.
He's another physical power guy down in the post. Valentine last year shot the 3 exceptionally well, really improved.
Ellis lays it in. Kansas has the lead.
Early in the game, Ellis has been the star for Kansas. They haven't been able to handle him down inside.
Wallenman the handoff. And Harris misses another 3. A very good Michigan State shooting team. Tom Izzo feels it's one of the best shooting teams that he has had. It's funny to hear Tom Izzo saying, yeah, we can really shoot it, but we've got to work on our defense and our rebounding. That's not the kind of thing you normally hear Tom Izzo say.
Well, he told me, he said, when guys can shoot the ball well, they really have a little liability defensively. You know, last year, Trice had a big year for them. Dawson was a little up and down, had some injuries, but they went to the Final Four. They got hot at the right time. 7 Final Fours in his last 17 years.
The only program in America that can make that claim. Aaron Harris just picked up his 2nd foul. He goes to the bench. Mason steps into a jumper. Kansas leads by 4.
Those 2 guys really have great basketball IQs as well, Mason and Selden. They understand how to play. They know what a good shot is, and they know their abilities and their talent.
Forbes into Wallenman. Kicks it out. Nice look. Tum Nairn, who spent all summer working on his shot, misses the long 2.
That's not his strength, though. His strength is going to the rim, taking the ball and attacking.
Defense and leadership as well. McQuaid thought about the 3, waited too long, now drives and misses.
They really feel he's got a great upside. They think McQuaid's going to be a good player. Originally committed to SMU.
He's a two-guard, but is playing some point for Michigan State, backing up Nairn.
Our guy Jeff Goodman said he was the best shooter on a high school level that he saw last year.
Ellis buries a three.
Are you serious? Mr. Ellis, are you serious? Stepping outside, going inside, inside, outside. College basketball. You gotta love it, Mr. Schulman.
It's an 11-0 run for the Jayhawks. McQuaid, little hesitation, the drive. No contact, and he misses another one, and back comes KU.
I want to let this guy shoot the ball. They're going to find Green.
Graham. And kept alive, saved by Wallenman. Long stretch without a whistle, and it's been all Kansas in the last few minutes. 11 straight Big 12 regular season titles. Sharing or winning it outright, and no reason to think. I mean, the title goes through Lawrence, right?
Absolutely. Everybody's talking, Iowa State's going to be very good this year. Oklahoma had a good win today over Memphis, had to come from behind. The kid Heel had 30 today.
Looking forward to seeing what Shaka Smart gets going down in Austin this year.
He'll eventually get that. I'll see VCU on Friday night against Duke in a tournament over in New York City. Wisconsin will play Georgetown as well.
Yeah, McQuaid may have just gotten scolded for passing up that three a couple of minutes ago. Subs for both teams. Forbes, and Michigan State really needed that one. A big three to bring them back within 4.
And I'll give you a little momentum. They need him to shoot that three. He's a 40% shooter, squares his body exceptionally well. Played in high school with the Lansing Sexton, played with Valentine. Valentine's dad was the coach.
We get our first look at Carlton Bragg Jr. for Kansas, a freshman, number 15, as Lucas misses a reverse. Also Sviatoslav Mikhailuk, who is a sophomore from Ukraine, played as a 17-year-old last year as a freshman. Another guy who can shoot it, and they're expecting some progression from him from last year to this year.
Yeah, Mikhailuk is a guy that he told me right now, get in a rotation, but not ready to be a starter. Bill told me before the game. Still so young.
And a moving screen, I believe. A foul away from the ball going on Javon Bess.
Well, they're going to call that. That's one of the points of emphasis this year, the screening scenario. Tom Izzo certainly didn't like it.
Well, he's a basketball coach with a football mentality. He likes tough basketball. And it'll be an adjustment for him.
He was telling me it's a big week this week. They got Ohio State in football, and here playing Kansas in basketball.
And now, same thing at the other end, this time going on Lucas. And Bill Self not so sure about that one.
They're going to call a lot of that this year. That's one of the things they're really concentrating on, screening. And there's only 3 schools in America that can claim being in the top 15 basketball and football. Michigan State's one of them, Oklahoma, and North Carolina. By the way, the Tar Heels are going to be superb.
Valentine knows, skying for the rebound, Mikhailuk. And Mikhailuk, he's going to go the distance.
They play, nobody stopped the ball. One of the rules in basketball, you got to stop the progress of the ball. You got to find it. That's the most dangerous thing on the floor, Dan, the basketball.
Strong drive, assertive drive there by Mikhailuk, and KU back up by 6. Baseline spin, Costello. Nairn into Bess. Turnaround jumper, yes.
Bess gives them some offense here in the first half.
Selden asking for it. Great matchup. Selden and Valentine, foot on the line. A long 2 for Wayne Selden.
I'll tell you one thing, you can see a certain rhythm. They got cohesiveness. They're so experienced and played together. When you look about Selden and Mason and Ellis.
Timeout on the floor. Kansas leading Michigan State by 6. Dick alluded to it. The great success Tom Izzo has had in getting his team to the Final Four. More on that when we come back. Is part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Aerial coverage here in Chicago tonight, provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for game-changing traction inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Dick mentioned it. Michigan State's been to 7 Final Fours in the last 17 years. No other team is on a run like that right now, and it's one of the longest runs ever. The record is UCLA, which went to 13 in a 15-year span back in the 60s and 70s. And last year, Dick, I mean, Michigan State, a lot of people looked at them as a sleeper in that region. I think they were a 7th seed, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
And then made it all the way to the Final Four before losing to Duke. They just seemed to play their best basketball in March.
Well, they beat a great team in Virginia. By the way, Virginia was upset. Got beat by George Washington. So many upsets early this year. Radford beating Georgetown. Eastern Illinois beating Wisconsin. Unpredictability, baby.
17-11, Kansas leading Michigan State. Dan Schultz, Vital, Shannon Spade. Matt Costello drawing a double team down to the post. Nice look. Tum Nairn. Can't knock down the jumper.
See, that's not his strength. His strength is driving, attacking the ring. Players have to know their strength. I mean, right now, they go to shooters. They got to let Forbes shoot the basketball from the perimeter.
But they're going to keep helping off Nairn, right? Until he proves to them he can knock down a shot. He was one of these, I'm going to make 500 shots a day guy in the summer. And they tell us there has been some improvement in that jump shot. But relax in the jump shot he brings in so many other areas. He's just a sophomore, and he's a co-captain on this team. Selden out of bounds, knocked out of bounds by Best. Kansas ball.
His first name, Lou Rawls.
Lou Rawls, Tum Nairn Jr.
Lady Love. Lou Rawls, a little Lady Love.
You're dating yourself now.
Hey, wow. I've dated myself the day I walked in here. I see that Michigan State uniform. One player flashes in front of me. Irvin Magic Johnson, the best of the best. They never were better. He's the one guy. I told a writer the other day, interviewed me, and asked me about who's the best player. I said, I know one thing. The one guy I would have loved to coach, Irvin Johnson. Always played with passion, pride, feeling, had the winner's mentality. Just a guy that understood how to play, could play any position.
Good catch on the baseline by Ellis. Now the drive into the middle. Left the floater a little bit short.
He's got to push the ball up the court. That's what Tum does well. Push it up, try to get them some numbers.
Good ball movement by Michigan State. And Valentine is going to get called for the foul. A push-off there. That is his first. The 2K Classic, a part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's, begins Friday at 5 p.m. on ESPN2. It starts with Wisconsin and Georgetown. Then a little bit later on, Duke and VCU. The championship game Sunday at 1 Eastern on ESPN, and you will be there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going there. Go to a couple plays, take my wife out to Broadway, go to New York later tonight.
Well,
keep the wife happy.
Don't let the basketball get in the way of the pleasure trip that you're on. Mikhailu takes a bump, off-balance shot, and it will be Michigan State ball.
You know, just like the first game, Dan, Grayson Allen couldn't get going for Duke, and he's their scorer. Right now, Valentine has not been able to get going for Michigan State. You're going to have your scorers respond in a positive way when you're playing top-notch competition. You play Cupcake City, you can get by with it.
Valentine 0 for 4 from the field. He does have 4 assists in the game. And he's a guy, he's hard to define by position. He's just a player. He can be a 1, he can be a 2, he can be a 3. Here he is bringing the ball up right now.
Yeah, mini version of Magic. I'm certainly not saying he's Magic Johnson, but that was Magic Johnson. Could play any place.
Well, Tom Izzo says, although Draymond Green is a front court player, he's like the guard version. Look at that man. Hey, look at that. He's like the guard version of Draymond Green. He can just do so many different things for you.
And what Green's done now at a pro level, by the way, Curry to me is the greatest shooter I have seen in my 37th year at ESPN.
The best shooter you've ever seen.
Best I've ever seen. Wow. That means Mullen, Alford, Miller, Reggie Miller, all of them.
Larry Bird's online too. He wants to talk to you. Forbes, no, he is sensational.
He's sensational.
And the degree of difficulty on some of the shots too is unbelievable.
Came up real close to taking Davidson in the Final Four and lost to Kansas.
Bess. And the long rebound down to Ellis.
Gotta stop the ball. Gotta stop the ball.
And it's going to be a tie-up. Good defensive play by Bess. The arrow will keep it with Kansas, but a terrific play.
Yeah, Bess did a great job in defensive transition, getting back. He times it perfectly. Good job right there. No foul. I think there's no doubt. I think it's safe to say both these guys, Self and Izzo, will be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any doubt.
Both have won a national championship. Izzo's been to 7 Final Fours. Self has been to 2. Self wins the league title every single year. And we'll be talking about both of these programs late into March. Bonus situation now.
I was impressed with Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Kentucky and Duke. Think about this, Dan. 7 players that started last year in the NBA as first-rounders. How many teams could lose 7 first-rounders between them and come back being the top 5 in America? Think about that.
Well, Kentucky and Duke with the top 2 recruiting classes. Duke's actually ranked number 1 coming into this year. The same going into next year. Duke 1, Kentucky 2, and actually Michigan State 3.
Michigan State's 3, and they could move up. They're in a hunt for a kid who really lived in Detroit for a while. Now is out on the coast by the name of Josh Jackson. Some say he might be the total consummate best player in the country, offense and defense.
And there are the ESPN Recruiting Nation, Paul Biancardi and company, putting together these rankings, and Tom Izzo saying this is the best class coming in next year that he thinks he has ever had, including another Flintstone. He's got a kid from Flint, 6'7", Miles Bridges.
Yeah, he's really exciting. Bridges is a special player. Langford's also an excellent player. The point guard coming in as well, Cassius Winston from Detroit.
Here's Davis, jump hook. Down with the rebound, Mason.
Mason rebounds well for a guard.
Graham looking inside for Ellis, doesn't have it. Selden over McQuaid, yes.
Tell you what, he was 0 for 10 last year in the Orlando Classic. He's not 0 for 10 here tonight.
He's got 5, Kansas by 7. Wallenman getting a lot of minutes, but
what a great play. What a great play. Should have never turned his head to look back to see who was coming. He lost the step. He lost the step. You young kids watching, don't turn back. A lot of young kids aren't watching. It's too late. It's like your baseball, man. 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:30. Let's bring the game back to the kids.
Ellis off to a terrific start tonight for Kansas. Valentine trying to keep Michigan State in it.
It's been a long time running just to get here from where I'm from.
Steve.
NBA Wednesday tomorrow night, presented by State Farm. Anthony Davis left tonight's game with a shoulder injury. New Orleans taking on OKC tomorrow night, and then it's the Bulls and the Phoenix Suns. Our coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7:30 Eastern Time. Let's go to the Michigan State bench. Coach Greenberg with Coach Izzo.
Tom, I know one of your keys was not to settle for threes. What are you going to do to try to punch the ball inside?
Well, Harris took a few threes from beyond our side of the court, and that hurt. And then freshmen look a little soft. You know, we got to get more out of McQuaid. He's fumbling balls and that. They're getting their breaks, and give them credit. They've hit a couple of threes that I didn't know if Selden's a streaky guy, but we played all right on the boards, but I think soft in the backcourt.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Great stuff. And one thing that Tom Izzo does not want his team to be is soft, to use his word. That is just not acceptable, really, for either of these coaches. They both preach toughness like crazy.
It's been a trademark for Tom Izzo's club. Rebound exceptionally well, very physical.
And away from the ball, a call against the Spartans. It's going to be on Kenny Goins, redshirt freshman from Troy, Michigan, who was just checked into the game.
Tell you one thing, somehow, some way, Michigan State's got to find a way. Tom Izzo getting some shots for Forbes to shoot the 3. They're 1 for 6 now, shooting the 3. They got to get him involved offensively.
They are thin in the front court. We mentioned the injuries to Gavin Schilling and Marvin Clark. Both out right now, so they are undersized and thin in the front court.
Good defensive play right there on the interior.
Here's Forbes. A look inside and another turnover. That is the 8th turnover committed already by Michigan State.
They feel that Davis can be one of the great players they've ever had.
You see Clark, he's got nursing a foot injury. Gavin Schilling has turf toe and has been out for a while.
You know, Deontay Davis was a guy with Mr. Basketball, has a world of talent. He's got to get a little bit more passion, a little bit more energy, and that will come. Time is all getting out of him. He's a skilled player, great size.
Bryn Forbes called for the foul, and that's the 10th. Boy, Michigan State, 6 baskets, 8 turnovers, and now 10 fouls already. So 2 free throws the rest of the half for Kansas.
I think the refs are living up to what they said they were going to do. Not going to allow a lot of contact. We're going to want people to play. Want to see athletes demonstrate their fluid ability.
Fluid ability.
Well, ability to get up and down that quick.
Oh, that was 2 words? That wasn't 1 word? I thought you just made up a word.
I made up a word. Hey, look, I remember when I started working with you. You were one of these guys who came in. Nobody knew the name Dan Schumann, knew nothing about him. You were like a Tim Duncan and a David Robinson. When they arrived in college, nobody knew them. And then they became PTPers, Players of the Year. Now you become a star. Wow.
In a desperate effort to change the topic, did you see David Robinson here tonight?
Yeah,
he was here tonight, right?
Well,
his son Justin is with Duke, probably going to redshirt. So, yeah.
Also, his son plays for Notre Dame football as well.
Right.
Who, by the way, has a great chance to get to that Final Four.
They're still in that 4th spot right now.
That's right.
You think they deserve it?
Yeah, they deserve it. Are you kidding me? We love Notre Dame, my family. Cheer, cheer for us. Let's sing the Irish song here. They got to beat Stanford. They're going to beat Boston College, but then they're going to beat Stanford.
Knocked away by Mason. Yet another Spartans turnover.
What terrific defense right there. He opened up to the ball, anticipated really well.
Ellis rejected by Davis, but follows it up and finishes.
Great second effort by Ellis right there to stay with it.
Valentine switches to the left hand and lays it in.
That's a big-time move right there. Comes down the lane with the right hand, goes to the left hand, lays it on the glass. He's a multi-talented star.
You know, it's somebody at the next level next year will get him later than anticipated, and he's going to turn into a heck of a player at the next level. There is Carlton Bragg Jr., a freshman from Cleveland, knocking down a long jumper.
Tom Izzo liked him and told me before the game. He said he's a kid that's going to play for them and some playing time.
Forbes is fouled by Mikhailu. So Forbes will head to the free throw line. It is the first foul on Mikhailu.
You know, you talk about Michigan State, you think about the Big Ten right now, the one team that's getting all the PR and all the notoriety, obviously, is Maryland. But now you got to live up to those expectations.
Yeah.
And those expectations are big. I mean, people are talking about them as national champs. And I'll tell you one thing, they're going to get everybody's best hit now. They're going to be on a bulletin board everywhere they play, and you got to come to play. That's why I respect the Kentuckys, Kansas, Michigan States, and what we saw Duke. Those teams take everybody's best hit every night, and they respond.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a fascinating matchup. And it sounds like an ACC game, but it's a Big Ten ACC game now. Maryland at North Carolina is part of the Big Ten ACC
that should be a
challenge. I'll be at that one the next night. You're going to be Indiana Duke, right?
Yeah, Indiana, by the way, a lot of people are really raving about them. I know one thing. They got great perimeter play. And Blackman and Farrell, that backcourt is terrific.
You see Butler put 144 points up
I
on the board a couple nights ago. Mikhailu kick into the corner. Good ball movement by Kansas. But Michigan State stayed in front of their defenders.
One thing Kansas has done really well here is shot selection.
Graham misses the three. A chance to get it into single digits. Forbes. Yes.
That was smart. Smart play by Valentine. Throwing it over the top of the defense, great vision, and finding the open shooter.
8 for Forbes and 5 assists already for Valentine.
They got to get Forbes shots, man. He's like automatic. He's wide open.
Mikhailu, no. Follow no good by Bragg. And a foul going against Kansas. And it'll be Bragg. No, it won't be Bragg. It's going to be Hunter Mickelson called for the foul.
Look at the pass right over the top of the defense by Valentine. That's that great size. You look over the top. That's what Magic did so well when he led Judd Heathcote's team to the national title. When they beat Larry Bird, kid from French Lick, Indiana, for the national title.
Bryn Forbes really shooting it well. In the 2 exhibition games for Michigan State, he went 11 for 17 from three-point range. He went 3 for 4 earlier this week against Florida Atlantic, and he is 2 for 3 tonight from three-point range.
Well, he's shown he can do it against someone like Kansas. I'm not taking anything away from Florida Atlantic, but obviously they don't have the personnel like Kansas.
And he and Valentine, by the way, high school teammates, and you can see it out there the way they interact and the way they play.
They played for Valentine's father, Carl, who played at Michigan State, Lansing Sexton High School.
Costello coming off a 15-point, 7-rebound effort against Florida Atlantic. Both teams 1-0 heading into this game, and as poorly as things have gone for Michigan State,
they're right in the game.
They're back within 6.
And they're a talented basketball team. Tom Izzo doesn't pull any punches. He doesn't moan and groan and say, we don't have this. He said, we're pretty good. We're going to be very good. In fact, he told me, I believe we can be better than last year's team.
Bragg, long jumper, high arcing jumper, and it goes.
And Tom Izzo could evaluate our talent because I talked to him before the game while you were working out here with Jay. I told him, he said, Bragg impresses me.
Valentine. That's old school right there.
He impresses me. He impresses me. I tell you, the way he's improved his jump shot, we haven't seen it tonight, but he has improved his jump shot.
You mentioned he's a triple-double waiting to happen sometimes. He's got 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists already. Mason with a tough answer at the other end.
Talk about triple-doubles. Traymond Green was on the board. Charlie Bell when he played here. And a guy named Irvin Johnson at 8 of them. And he wants to get into that company with a triple-double. Valentine.
Forwards. Not this time. Tipped back out by Costello, but it's Kansas ball. Mikhailuk, he thought about it, and then he lost it. And we have a foul going against Michigan State, and Tom Izzo is not a happy man. That look says it all.
Frustrated right there. Down 8. Foul in that situation. We'll take Mr. Valentine. Here we go. Look at this. Look at that drive down the lane. Little jump hook in the lane. What a multi-talented player. What a talented player.
Well, Kansas leading, but still without the services of a player they really hope to have. Freshman Ashek Diallo from Mali. And right now the NCAA has not granted him eligibility. You can see his credentials as a player. A terrific incoming player, very raw but very talented, and the NCAA is looking into his academic records from high school and even back to grade school in Mali, in Africa. And as of now, Kansas has no idea if or when the case may be decided and if he'll play this year.
Well, I think the NCAA should free Diallo. I'll tell you this. He's a kid that really came from another country looking for an opportunity here. Number one. Number two, he speaks 4 languages. He passed 2 classes in the summer at Kansas. He can do the academic work. They're questioning the curriculum at the school. Kids from that school have gone on to major colleges. Hey, free Diallo. The NCAA, I know, has a bunch of people there that really care about kids and they care about what goes on. Well, let me tell you this. We're in the business to help kids, not hurt kids. Free Diallo. Free Diallo. Free Diallo. Free Diallo. Free Diallo. Come on, NCAA.
And you haven't heard Bill Self. I mean, he's not kicking and screaming about it right now. He is, hoping and trying to be patient and waiting.
He just wants what's right. And what's right, that kid belongs on a college campus as a student. He's a student. He wants to learn. Put him on a basketball court.
Valentine misses the 3. Mickelson down with the rebound. You put Diallo in the front court with Ellis and Traylor and Mickelson and Bragg and Lucas. I mean, that's a lot of bodies up front for Bill Self.
Well, he can block shots. But, forgetting all that, the kid should be playing. He can handle academic work at Kansas. He's proven it.
Ellis back into the game now for Mickelson. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Shannon Spake, game 2 of the State Farm Champions Classic. Great event, 5th year for this event. Next year, it'll happen again. It'll happen in New York City, same time of year as these 4 great programs rotate around between who they play.
You mentioned Diallo, who's MVP of McDonald's and MVP of the Jordan Brand Classic as well. A shot blocker, very limited offensively right now.
Graham the miss, Costello the rebound. Valentine pushing it, getting all the way in.
Oh, you got
Wallenman couldn't finish, but he has the rebound. McQuaid wide open, and he knocks down the 3.
Well, Jeff Goodman said he could shoot the rock, baby, and he could shoot it, so they get 3 instead of 2.
Big sequence there for the Spartans, back within 7.
McQuaid came to Michigan State because originally he was going to go to SMU because of Mudiay. He was really a good friend of his. When he went to the NBA, he decided to change his mind.
Ellis working on Wallenman, up and in. Boy, Perry Ellis has such a wide array of shots.
He really has a way of getting it off. Very versatile in the low post. That's where Schilling would have been a big help for them on the inside.
13 already for Perry Ellis, and now Wallenman is called for a foul away from the ball.
It seems like Ellis has been there for I don't know how many years. There he is down inside. has a way of getting on that baseline. Used the drop step really well. UB Brown used to lecture on that big time at the 5-star camp, using the drop step around the baseline. UB still going strong in the
Yes, he
NBA.
is.
Wow.
He's a treasure. He's one of the best.
Yes, sir.
Kansas by 9. Perry Ellis leading all scorers with 13. Graham, left-handed lay-in, no good. Ball still loose. Traylor has it. Woo. They're going after it hard on both sides. It'll be a tie-up, and it's going to belong to the Spartans.
Spartans football team better play like that when they play Ohio State. I mean, think about this right here. He hasn't lost a game, Urban Meyer, in the Big Ten since he's coaching. In terms of regular season, that's unbelievable.
Coming up at the half, it's the Jeep halftime report. There they are. Reese Davis, Jay Williams, Seth Greenberg, analysis of the first half, a look back at the Kentucky win over Duke, and a look back at the whole tip-off marathon. All kinds of action all day long.
I was ready to go on with those guys before the game, but that first game went so big time. Good post move inside. Costello.
Points on the interior, big for Costello with the Spartans. 7-point game again.
Need a defensive stop right here, Michigan State.
Ellis takes a bump from Costello. Foul before the shot. That'll be the second foul on Matt Costello.
See now, a year ago, they would not have blown the whistle in.
And Costello, did he get teed up after the fact? A personal foul was called on him, and then the ball punched into the stands.
I did not see that play. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Frustration.
Was he assessed a technical as well? Because, of course, a technical is a personal, and he was assessed a technical. So that's going to be his third personal. That is a huge play working against Michigan State.
Especially with their size factor.
Yeah.
That's a major play. He's got to get him out. He's taking him right now.
So Green gets 2 free throws for the technical. Plus there's a personal. Plus Costello's got to go to the bench.
Plus Tom Izzo keeps talking and talking and talking, and Tom, he just makes like he's listening, and he's going to still do what he has to do. He's one of the better officials.
So Wallenman back into the game as Costello sits down with his third. And now Ellis to the free throw line. And he'll get 2 free throws because it's double bonus. That was for the personal foul charged to Costello.
I'll tell you what, being a good free throw shooting team is going to be vital this year because you're getting a lot of opportunities on that free throw line. And that was really an Achilles heel, as Al McGuire would say. Man, in this Al, but Al McGuire would say that about a team, and that was Michigan State. They shot 62% last year on the free throw line.
And now the Michigan State fans with some applause, some mocking applause as a call goes against Kansas. Jamari Traylor called for the foul. 1-1 for Michigan State. It'll be Valentine.
Traylor was an interesting story. I read a story how he was homeless here in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, for a couple of years during high school.
And now he wants to get back into the city and help other kids. Utilize his Kansas education to help other kids. Somebody helped him to give him his opportunity. Played here for the first time, he said, against Duke 2 years ago. Scored 4 points in that game.
Valentine having a big first half, stuffing the stat sheet, as they say, for Michigan State. He's got 6 rebounds. He's got 6 assists, and he's now got 8 points.
He has a chance for that triple-double he's been looking for. But he'd rather have the win. He'd rather have the double. That's the kind of kid he is. He grew up in that kind of home with his dad, a coach.
Graham to Ellis. To the baseline again, this time the reverse, but it won't go. And now Traylor called for another foul. And they'll walk the court again, the second on Traylor, the 10th on Kansas, as now Bill Self is unhappy. Hey, tonight after the Champions Classic, stick around for Sports Center at night. John Anderson and John Abuchagras have you covered at the midnight hour. And Neil and Nicole for the West Coast. Sports Center at night tonight on ESPN and also streaming live on Watch ESPN.
They do a great job on Sports Center. Unfortunately for me, they were like my backcourt in the NBA, and I know both guys, they can't shoot the rock. So when you got a backcourt like that, you get fired, you go to TV.
Wow.
I'm only kidding you, John. I'm only kidding. Two great guys.
Traylor's going to sit down.
They're hanging right in the game, and they have not played to the level of their potential, and they're right there in the game.
Wallenman has already been accepted into medical school at Michigan. He's had a number of interviews. He could wind up at Michigan. I said, if you go to Michigan and Michigan plays Michigan State, what color are you going to wear? And he said, I'm green. I'm green.
There's going to be a lot of green when he becomes a doctor, too. Piles of green.
That is the 25th foul called in the game. 15 of them on Tom Izzo's team. And again, this is something that everybody's going to have to get used to. They're going to call it closer. They want to allow more freedom of movement. So they're going to call the bumping. They're going to call the hand check and that kind of thing. And they're going to force the NCAA officials. And it's hard to argue with the premise. They're going to force players to adjust to try to open up the game and add more offense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's their theme right now. That's what their goal is. And the only way that's going to happen, the coaches can't moan and groan all the time. They got to buy into it if they want that to happen. But it's going to be a parade to the free throw line. A lot of games. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. It's going to be a little painful. But ultimately, they'll clean it up.
And a timeout called by the Spartans. We'll be back momentarily. A minute 4 to go in the first half. Kansas leading by 8. We are back in Chicago. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Shannon Spade, Game 2 of the State Farm Champions Classic. And Perry Ellis, Dick, is just doing what he's been doing for the last few years for Kansas.
Yeah, he really operates so well down in that low box. He's so effective down inside, little screen and roll, releases. There he is down inside, getting the baseline. Good drop step along that baseline. Then he's going to show you can shoot the three as well. Steps out, a little inside-outside action.
Big reason why KU has the lead with a minute to go here in the first half. Some foul trouble for Michigan State. Valentine having a big half so far for the Spartans, keeping them close. Ellis staying with them.
Trying to get a little one-on-one right now. He wants to beat him one-on-one.
Shot clock at 6. Valentine with a switch. Now Bragg on him. Nice pass. And the lay-in for Wallenman.
He has that great vision, that feel. You know, he has that feel and understanding where people are on the floor. I think he gets a bigger kick distributing the rock than he does making a shot. I really do.
7 assists already on the night for Valentine.
Drives, draws, and dishes the rock. The 3D man. There he goes, Mr. Valentine. Nice little shovel pass inside. Look at that little change of direction. Splits the defense.
And they're hanging around with Kansas in spite of the fact they're down a couple of players. They've turned it over. They've had foul trouble. If you're Tom Izzo, are you happy you're close, or are you unhappy you haven't really played very well?
Well, Tom's never going to be happy. He wants to win. That's the bottom line. I'll tell you this. They're going to be strong in the Big Ten. When they get all the parts together and get healthy, I mean, the physical presence of Schilling and Clark added so much to that club. And we have not seen the real Aaron Harris. Harris has got great scoring ability. You can't score 17 a game in the Big 12 and not be a legitimate player.
Big 10 is going to be interesting. Maryland, we talked about a little bit already.
Indiana.
You like Indiana. Purdue is going to be a very interesting
Very good.
team. Yep.
Hammonds and Swanigan. Swanigan originally committed to Michigan State, but he's been really effective. Matt Painter has a very good team. And you never count out Wisconsin. They're going to get better and better. Ohio State. Congratulations to Dan Motta. Won his 300th game the other day.
6-second difference. Game clock and shot clock. Mason. Long pass to Green. Does not get it off in time. Shot clock violation. And amazingly, Michigan State down only 6 with the ball as poorly as things have gone here in the first half.
Well, that's a positive for them hanging in there. These are going to be two teams, no doubt about it, come March, are going to be right there banging on the door in terms of the NCAA Final Four. They really have that kind of talent, experience.
Tom Izzo getting another shooter back into the game as McQuaid is checked back in. What's Valentine going to do? He's got to force it. It was after the horn would not have counted, even had it gone. And at the end of 20 minutes here in Chicago, Perry Ellis with 14, and Kansas leads Denzel Valentine at Michigan State 41-35 in the second game of the State Farm Champions Classic here at the United Center in Chicago. Shannon Spake is with Bill Self.
Coach, you told me this morning that you had to eliminate those three-point shots and the second chance points. What do you think about the way your guys have done that?
Well, I haven't seen the stats yet, but we did a decent job except for a couple of key stretches. We had control there up 12 and then didn't do some things, and they broke us down defensively. But, you know, we got to do a better job of just playing smarter. You know, it's one thing to foul, but don't foul 94 feet from the basket.
25 fouls in this first half. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a lot of whistles.
Thanks, Coach.
That's a lot of whistles. We'll be hearing a lot of coaches say that's a lot of whistles here in the early part of the season. Kansas leading by 6 here at halftime in Chicago. After the break, it's the Jeep halftime report. A look at a very busy day in college hoops with Reese, Seth, and Jalen.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Zales. Declare your diamond kind of love with gorgeous gifts from Zales, the Diamond Store.
To the State Farm Champions Classic, Game 2, Kansas and Michigan State, as we move on to the second half with KU leading by 6. Tonight's game is a part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Welcome back to the United Center. Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale with Kansas leading Michigan State by 6. A lot of fouls in the first half. 25, in fact, 15 committed by the Spartans. Perry Ellis leading the way. He was terrific in the first half for Kansas. And Denzel Valentine keeping Michigan State close.
Yeah, really the difference has been certainly, when you look at Michigan State, they had no answer inside to be able to defend Ellis. And then Costello getting that silly foul by getting the technical. Now he has 3, and he's their guy. He's going to understand it. He's a leader. On the other side, Valentine has done everything to keep him in the game.
We heard from Bill Self at the end of the first half. Moments ago, Shannon Spake with Tom Izzo.
Coach, I know when you spoke with Seth, you mentioned the backcourt. You know, what you guys were able to pull it within 6. What else do you have to do to continue that?
I'm ecstatic that we're within 6 because we have not played very well. I just think a disappointment for me is we look real soft and tentative, and some of it's the young guys. But we're really struggling at the 4 where we got more out, and those guys got like 7 turnovers between the 3 of them. So we got to do a better job there, and yet we came back in it. We needed to get the ball inside a little more. We'll do that. We've done a pretty good job on the boards. But they're killing us at the free throw line, so we got to quit fouling.
Thank you, Coach. That's great. Thank you very much.
Jamari Traylor on the offensive glass. Kansas with an 8-point lead. So Thomas was saying he was ecstatic that his team was only down 6 at halftime with as many things as went wrong for them in the first half.
Traylor with the offensive rebound. Very active on the glass.
Valentine doing everything for Michigan State tonight. He's now got 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists.
He shot like 40% last year from the 3. I mean, really stepped up. That's a carry right there, no?
And the loose ball winds up in the hands of Traylor, and then the foul is called on Deontay Davis. He will start the second half in place of Matt Costello. Another ramification of that technical foul, which was the 3rd foul on Costello. He starts the second half on the bench.
Yeah, they got to get quality minutes out of Davis. He's so talented. He was Mr. Basketball. Michigan has some outstanding high school players. He's got ability.
Replaces Bryn Forbes here in the first minute of the second half. And we're going to have a foul call going against, or a travel rather, I believe, going against Kansas. Selden just out of control.
Yeah, he really was right there.
5-point game in Michigan State with the ball.
I think the kid Harris, for a little confidence factor, hasn't played a little better than a year. But you don't score 32 on Baylor, 28 on Kansas, and not be able to play. And he did that at West Virginia.
Sat out last year as a transfer. Valentine puts it up again and hits again.
Tell you one thing, he's showing everyone here that kid can flat out play. He's so versatile. He's one of the most versatile players in America.
Muscling his way in on his favorite side, the left side of the basket again is Ellis.
Can't allow him to get in like that.
Oh boy, Valentine is feeling it, misses that 3. And it is out of bounds to Kansas. Let's go to Shannon for more on Denzel Valentine.
Well, you know, Coach Izzo told me this week that it's all about leadership for this team, and it all starts with Denzel Valentine. Valentine told me players coach teams better than coaches coach teams. That's what Izzo's philosophy is. He's the leader of this team. He was talking to the guys as they were headed out to the court, telling them, don't worry, and you can see what they're doing right now.
Traylor draws the foul on the inside.
Good point right there, Shannon. Excellent point about leadership. Take a look right here. Denzel Valentine doing it all tonight. He's got 13 points, 9 assists. Unbelievable. Just playing really exceptionally well.
Jamar Traylor with the line now for Kansas. One of the many big bodies that Bill Self has up front. It is not a team that is loaded with one-and-dones or lottery picks, but it is a deep, talented, experienced team.
Well, they're familiar with each other. You know, basketball, a game of cohesiveness. That's why it's amazing what gets done by John Calipari with Kentucky and also Mike Krzyzewski. I mean, losing the players they do and get them back to play. But they get such great talent. That's the difference maker, man. They get super talent.
And Bill Self has certainly had his share of those. I mean, Andrew Wiggins just a couple of years ago, the #1 pick in the NBA draft. Harris baseline. And the follow is good for Davis.
See, Davis hanging around the goal, using that great size of his.
6'10" freshman from Muskegon, Michigan. Now Traylor driving aggressively and draws another foul. He's headed right back to the free throw line.
You know, Traylor's come out here in the second half very aggressively.
Foul was on Davis, his third. So he's got 3, and Costello's got 3. And Costello's getting ready to check back into the game. They are really undermanned up front. And Tom Izzo alluded to that when he was talking with Shannon. Without Schilling, without Clark, they are down 2 players who would be getting significant minutes in the front court right now.
You know, both teams really have a way of changing the complexion of their team by having some additions. Like, for example, you mentioned right there about Schilling and Clark. But also on the other side, you think about Kansas, they get Diallo.
Yep.
I mean, we're not talking about an average player. We're talking about a guy that's the MVP of the McDonald's, the Jordan brand. I mean, he changes them defensively. You get nothing around the basket with his shot blocking ability.
7-point game, Kansas in the lead. Kentucky beat Duke 74-63 in the first game tonight.
Tyler Ulis might have been the smallest guy on the floor, but he was the best guy on the floor. And he was a giant when the rock was in his hands.
Nairn off the glass, no, kept alive. Kansas ball, Traylor again.
Traylor very strong here to start this half.
Mason for 3. Whoa,
watch out.
An inadvertent play there as Traylor was down on the deck, and Costello very fortunate not to be shaken up, and it's Traylor who is still down. But Costello had no idea there was a player underneath him and hit the court hard.
You were right, Dan. Inadvertent, no question about it. There certainly was no intent there at all. And a lucky break right here. Could have been a lot worse.
Traylor is called for the foul. That'll be his third, and just great to see that neither player is shaken up too badly. So Traylor sits down, and Landon Lucas comes back in for Kansas.
Well, Lucas, a big power guy on the inside. Has a great deal of physicality down in that box inside. Experience, but that's a terrible pass right there. That was so anticipated.
Ellis, the steal, can't finish. Lucas had it for a moment, and it's out of bounds to the Jayhawks.
Now it's amazing. You think about Bill Self. I was looking at his numbers. He's averaged 29 wins a year in his 12-plus years at Kansas. That's incredible.
He's won 82% of his games as Kansas head coach. You know what his record is at Allen Fieldhouse the last 7 years?
He's lost, what, a total of 9 games?
A total of 9, but the last 7 years is even crazy. It's 133-3 the last 7 years. By the way, I think it's going to be any fun January 30th as part of the Big 12 SEC Challenge when Kentucky goes to Lawrence.
Should be a lot of fun.
Valentine up top to Costello.
What a terrific read right there. Good 2-man play. The veteran duo. Valentine with a tremendous look.
8th assist for Valentine, and Michigan State within 5.
You know, he's won 11 conference titles in a row.
Yep.
He's got more conference titles in a row than losses at home.
Crazy. Selden. Rebound Valentine.
It's the Valentine show. It's the Valentine show, man. He's got great eyes. He knows where to find open people.
Plays the game at a great pace, too. Never looks like he's rushing. Harris makes it a three-point game.
He's a key player. If they're going to elevate their game and go to the next level, I really believe that Harris's scoring ability could be the difference, Dan Schulman.
Michigan State is right back in it, and Denzel Valentine has been leading the way. 13 points, 7 rebounds, and you're looking at one of his 8 assists on his way potentially to a triple-double. Now we got a ball game here at the United Center.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites. And DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Kansas' lead is down to 3 as we take a look at the assist of the night, brought to you by State Farm. And if you're talking assists in this game, you got to talk Denzel Valentine.
He does such a great job finding the open people. There's a great look right there. Now watch this one. Little handoff on the inside, draws 2 people to him. There's the little lob. What a perfect lob. He laid it in the perfect place for Costello. Terrific job.
Just 1 turnover, 13 points, 7 rebounds as well. Kansas ball, but it's down to a 3-point game. That turnover.
Head up all the time when he dribbles the ball. Head up. He knows where people are on the floor.
Costello from the baseline. Can't knock it down, and Ellis down with a rebound for KU.
He did a great job right there finding Costello. It was a wide open shot.
Tom Nairn's been on the bench for a while. Again, Valentine can play so many different positions, but he has been the primary ball handler tonight for the Spartans. Mason off the glass and good. Nice drive there by Frank Mason.
Well, Tom Izzo's not going to be happy right there with the defensive effort by Harris. He allowed him to beat him off the bounce to the goal, and no one rotated over to take any help at all.
5 minutes into the second half, Kansas by 5. Valentine again keeps the dribble alive for a while. Now finds Bess. And it is out of bounds. A turnover off the fingertips of Harris to take us to the under-16 media timeout here in Chicago. Kansas 51, Michigan State 46.
Tough games early at least has boded well for Michigan State over the years. Better teams you play, the better prepared your team's going to be. If your guys are really good and they come in a little cocky, they get their brains beat in. And that's why this Tournament of Champions has been so good for me, is because you know you're going to play one of the top teams in the country.
Year after year, they play a very tough schedule. They are down by 5 to Kansas right now. Tom Izzo's with Seth Greenberg.
Tom, you guys are tackling a little bit more. Is that the key right now?
Well, yeah, we're playing a little harder. We're not playing much smarter, but we're playing a little harder. Plus, we're driving the ball a little bit, and we're trying to get the ball into the post more. And I think that'll be a big key.
Thanks.
And our thanks to Tom Izzo for giving us some insight right out of the huddle live here on a couple of occasions during the game tonight.
I think one of the keys right now is putting the ball in Valentine's hands. Good things happen.
He's out there with Harris, Forbes, Bess, and Costello. Costello bumping with Lucas. Jump hook over him is good. He has really, as we mentioned in the first half, worked on those post moves, and you can see the results.
Yeah, he really has improved. There's no question down in the post. I think it's going to be a nice combination when they have Ian Schelling. They can rotate him on the inside.
Into double figures now with 10, and again, it's a 3-point game.
Nice play getting over the top of the screen right there by Harris. I think Harris is a key player for them. He just has to find a rhythm, get a little confidence.
Lucas got free of Costello and lays it in.
Yeah, too much on the inside. He's got 3 fouls now, so he's trying to be a little cautious.
Kobe Wallenman is getting ready to check in for Michigan State. Carlton Bragg will do the same for Kansas.
They're going to get some screens for Harris. He knows how to score.
Valentine. He's going to put it up. Can't hit. Lucas the rebound.
Should have shot a little bit sooner. Had a better look.
Mason, left-handed layup is good. Boy, is he a strong driver, and he draws the foul as well.
Did a great job changing hands, going to the left hand. Driving to the left side, utilizes the left hand effectively, using that upper body strength. Beats Harris off the bounce. Both those guys can really drive the basketball. Talking about Selden and Mason.
Mason's second team all Big 12 a year ago at the free throw line. The foul on Bess, his third.
A little dancing going on the sideline. You know what's really impressive, too? The Jayhawks right now lead the nation in consecutive trips to the NCAA tournament. 26 in a row, followed by the Blue Devils with 20. And in the third slot, right there, the Spartans with 18.
And if you want the easiest bet in basketball, all three of them are going to up it this year, right? None of those streaks are in jeopardy this year.
I think it's a pretty safe bet.
Valentine with the shot clock down to 7. And Mason working hard, but called for the foul. Second on Mason.
See, another rule change this year puts the emphasis that if you got a strong point guard, you really can be effective. Because right now, you could dribble a basketball out for the entire shot clock. You don't have the call when you're dribbling the ball.
Right.
The 5-second call no longer exists.
It still exists when you're holding the ball, but not dribbling the ball.
So if you got a great point guard like Ulis or these guys that can handle the rock, you put the ball in their hands, and it creates a dilemma for the defense on how to react to get the ball in his hands. Do you double him up, leave someone open?
Selden can't finish. Lucas had it, gets it back. Now Graham with a drive and the floater no good. And Valentine down with a rebound and clearing some space. Forbes into the chest of Mikhailuk, who got a piece of it, and it belongs to Kansas.
No foul right there on Forbes. No foul. Let's see if it's all ball here.
I think he went straight up.
Yep.
He's entitled to the rule of verticality, right? He's entitled to the space above him.
You like that rule. I can see your eyes light up talking about verticality. That's too hard for me, man. They're more than one syllable.
Well, it's not as good as fluid ability, which you pulled off in the first half. KU fans making a lot of noise right now. Their team up by 8. In and out for Mikhailuk, and over the back goes Bragg.
Mikhailuk was right there with that shot. I love the chant when you're down there. The fog, rock, chalk, Jayhawk, rock, chalk, Jayhawk. What a special place.
They love their Jayhawks. All 4 programs well represented here in Chicago. Big trip here for Michigan State. McQuaid, the freshman from out of Duncanville, Texas, down to Costello. Banging with Lucas. Nice move to the left hand, but it won't stay down for him.
Good effort, though, right there. Good effort to keep the ball alive.
Valentine misses the 3. Costello again.
They got 2 outstanding shooters on the floor. They got to get the ball to Forbes some looks. They can't get him some looks. Forbes and Valentine can make threes.
And McQuaid can really shoot it as well.
Absolutely.
Valentine the drive, the scoop, tough shot, and a foul will send him to the free throw line. And Bill Self is stomping mad over on the Kansas bench.
Well, I think what he's going to be mad about is they got out-hustled there in that whole sequence. They got really out-hustled on the glass. And I know Bill can't be happy about that.
And can you...
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for game-changing traction inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, or Joe. Chicago, Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, Shannon Spade. The Kansas Jayhawks have won at least a share of 11 consecutive regular season titles. UCLA holds the record in that regard. 13 consecutive Kansas titles and conference titles, and the Jayhawks hot on their heels. Are they the favorite in your mind to win the Big 12 again? Gonzaga had a streak of 11, no longer active out of the West Coast Conference. Kansas the favorite in the Big 12?
Oh, absolutely to me. Even though I know Iowa State and Oklahoma is certainly going to be very good, but there's no question in my mind. You got to go through Lawrence, Kansas. I like when we showed UCLA. That guy we showed was a pretty good player by the name of Bill. I can't think last name.
I think it's Walt.
Oh, Walt. He wasn't bad.
He was in China a couple of days ago
doing
a game for us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, did the Texas-Washington game in China. Looked like he had the time of his life.
I'll tell you one thing. Well, he has a lot of fun. He enjoys what he's doing. Well, you talk about an outlet pass. Oh, he had a terrific outlet pass.
Kansas with the ball and the lead.
A lot of motion. I like the fact they get a lot of motion offensively. Makes it difficult to defend that.
Ellis is fouled and will head to the free throw line.
They love that play. That little two-man play they set up, get motion out of Ellis. You know what's really unbelievable tonight? They're shooting free throws exceptionally well. Going to the line right now, they're 18 for 20.
Michigan State has only been there 8 times. They've made all 8, but as Tom Izzo said to Shannon at halftime, they're just killing them on the free throw lane. They got to stop fouling.
That's a big plus, though, for Tom's club, making 8 for 8, because last year they shot 62% on the line.
The foul was on Bess, his 4th.
Tell you one thing, Kansas is a lot better here tonight than they were in this Classic last year. Shot 19%. Yep. It was embarrassing.
72 to 40, right? They lost to Kentucky.
Could have been a lot worse, too. Kentucky was so dominant.
Valentine, not this time. And that's going to be off Graham, out of bounds, back to the Spartans. Valentine again.
Having a tough time. They're doing a great job, Kansas. They are matching up on Forbes, not giving them any open looks at all for the 3.
Wallenman. Shovel pass to Valentine. Still 10 to shoot.
He'd like to find his buddy.
Behind the back, the extra look. Forbes frees himself and hits it. Boy, they had to work hard on that possession, but he knocks down the long 2.
Well, that's the guy that's got to get the look. He's got to get the ball. He can shoot the basketball. Tucks his elbow in really well, gets great rotation, squares the body.
And it's a 7-point game as we near the midway point of the second half. Mason the drive, the kick into the corner. Ellis having a big night, will add to his totals with a long 2, and he's got 19.
He's improved his range as a shooter as well.
59-50, Kansas, and a steal.
Turnover. Big turnover right there.
Double-digit lead, Jayhawks.
Experienced basketball team, really experienced. Got size, got perimeter play. They got all the parts. They got all the parts. And if they get the yellow, all I can say to America, watch out for the Jayhawks.
Well, he often gets overlooked, Dick, when you talk about the great players in the country, but Perry Ellis just keeps putting up the numbers.
Yeah, he really does. He plays so effectively. He knows his strengths. They're going to watch the steal right here. Good anticipation, stepping in the passing lane, and off they go. Now a double-digit lead.
Tomorrow night, it's NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. And the first game, we've got New Orleans taking on OKC. Anthony Davis left the game tonight with a shoulder injury. Then in the second game, the Bulls take on the Suns. Our coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7:30 Eastern Time.
Well, tomorrow night you can see 2 former college coaches, Billy Donovan and Freddie Hoiberg.
That's right.
Yeah, both got Freddie right here in Chicago.
Yeah, the mayor moved to a new city.
You know, both guys went to situations where you got a chance to win. Personnel there. Yeah. I mean, they're playing right now without Durant. When they get Durant and Westbrook together, that combination's as good as any duo in basketball.
Kylu called for the foul. Some of the notable coaching changes in college basketball, as Dick talked about. Fred Hoiberg and Billy Donovan both moving on to the NBA. Shaka Smart's going to get them all fired up down in Austin. Rick Barnes is now at Tennessee.
Rick Barnes is going to do a great job at Tennessee. Sometimes a little divorce is good. Both parties. Big 3 right there.
Forbes knocks it down. Michigan State just kind of hanging around on the fringes of this one.
They don't go away. Every time it seems like they get that double-digit lead, they're up 12 in the first half. Michigan State has a way of battling back. Then Forbes gives you that 3-point shooting, man. Nothing like having a guy that can make that trifecta. Gives you a lot of momentum. When Uncle Mo gets on your side, a lot of positives can happen. Has Uncle Mo ever been on your side?
No, Uncle Mo doesn't visit me very
well. Well, I think he does.
You've cornered the market on Uncle Mo.
Uncle Mo's been good to me for a few years. I mean, the fact I'm sitting here at 76 has been great to me. Are you kidding me?
Mikhailuk out and Selden back in. Forbes out, McQuaid in for Michigan State. 1 of 2 for Mason. It's a 9-point game. Haven't seen Tum Nairn in a while. He's back in there right now. Valentine's still in the game, but now playing off the ball.
Well, they wanted Valentine up on top. He's making so many good things happen. You can't double him up. You double him up, he's going to find the open guy.
Valentine with the shot clock down to 4. Forces it up, no good, but an offensive rebound for Wallenman. Valentine again, got it!
A three-point shot can get you back quickly. 2 in a row, Forbes and Valentine, former teammates, Lansing Sexton High School.
What a night for Valentine. I know we've mentioned it a lot, but look at those numbers. He is 1 rebound away from a triple-double, and there's better than 8 minutes left in the game.
That'll be his first triple-double in his career. He had it in exhibition games, but never in a regular game. He joins Charlie Bell, Draymond Green, and a guy named Irvin.
Magic had 8, Draymond Green 3, Charlie Bell 1, and Valentine is on the cusp. Added to his points total, he was already into double figures, but a big 3 to bring Michigan State back within 6.
Tom showed me how proud he is of Draymond, how proud he's so much of his development as a player, person, the whole bit. So he's really proud of him. He was out there at the championships last year, watching before.
Bonus for Kansas, and Mason misses the front end. Opportunity here for Michigan State. Valentine again.
He turned on the speed right there. Went right to the goal. I love the way he cups the basketball. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you something. He can play for me, man. That kid can flat out play.
He's going to compete for Big Ten Player of the Year, and he's going to compete for an All-American spot this year as well. He can play.
He can flat out play. You can flat out announce, he can flat out play. What can I flat out do?
Sparty making some noise. Spartans fans are on their feet here in Chicago. 4-point game. Deep one with a shot clock running down. Michigan State ball.
We got a game on, baby. Game on. Game on. Get the rock in his hands.
No look pass off to Nairn. Still plenty of time.
Stayed in front of Nairn, not allowing Nairn to get to the basket. He likes to drive that ball.
Not this time for Valentine, and the rebound down to Mason. Michigan State needs to find somebody who can give some help to Valentine to the offensive end. And a foul against the Spartans. I think it's Costello. It is, and Tom Izzo is in disbelief. Number 4 on Matt Costello.
Hey, Denzel Valentine, multi-dimensional. We're going to watch him explode to the goal. Lays it on the glass, scores. Mr. Versatility. He's the multi-dimensional guy. He's making like the Magic Man.
The nation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today. And Cheez-It Grooves. Because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters. Did anybody...
Back at the United Center in Chicago with Dick Vitale and Shannon Spake. I'm Dan Schulman. It's a 4-point game. Kansas leading Michigan State, nearing the end of the 24-hour plus tip-off marathon. All kinds of interesting games, including Virginia losing to GW. And on the women's side, how about UConn? How about Gino Auriemma's team beating Ohio State by 44?
What he has done has just been incredible. It's been unbelievable. Gino Auriemma has put numbers up that are scary.
Saw Oklahoma get a win over Memphis earlier tonight, 84-78, part of the marathon. And here, Michigan State just will not go away. McQuaid can't turn the corner. Valentine off to Nairn. Nairn inside, stops and hits, and it's a 2-point game.
That's what he does really well. Attack the basket and finish around the basket. I'll tell you, the confidence factor, McQuaid's confidence got to go up. They're playing him this late in the game.
It is down to 2.
Sparty, man, they're battling and battling like they did last year to get to the Final Four.
And they've got the ball back. Last lead for Michigan State was at 6-5. They're on a 7-0 run right now, and they can tie or take the lead on this trip. Valentine inside and draws the foul.
He does a great job with his change of direction. Really low, fast dribble. Young kids out there learn on a low, hard, fast dribble on that change.
And since we last looked at his totals, according to our stats monitor here, he has added an assist and that 10th rebound. So he has become just the 4th player in Michigan State history to record a triple-double. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, Magic Johnson, Draymond Green 3, and Charlie Bell 1. And tonight, Valentine is first, the 13th ever in Michigan State history.
Well, you know, certainly Magic would have a lot more had he stayed in school. But he went out and had a few triple-doubles with the Lakers.
And even more importantly than the personal stats, Valentine can tie the game with a free throw.
And he's all about winning. I had a chance to talk to him last year. He's all about wanting to win. His dad was all about that as a coach. Listen to the crowd. Sparty is working up here. Look at the Spartans, man. Jayhawk fans getting up now.
KU led by as many as 13 earlier tonight.
Well, we're going to see how they handle taking a punch like they've taken here.
Devontae Graham cut off by Valentine. Mason's made some big plays when Kansas has needed them tonight.
See, stats here are legitimate. Some of the stats in all the Cupcake City blowouts really aren't legitimate. You score now, this is big.
Devontae Graham with his first field goal of the night, and Kansas is back on top.
He's a penetrator, and that can handle the rock.
Officials telling the Kansas bench to sit down. McQuaid, Nairn, Valentine in the backcourt. Mason really face guarding Valentine, does not want to let him get a touch.
They like to get the ball to McQuaid with a standstill jump shot.
Nairn with a toe on the line. Misses the jumper. Mason, long pass, too long, and it goes back over to Michigan State.
He's trying to make like Valentine. Got a good look right there. Here's Graham with his quickness right there. Going to give him the lead. Pulls up, under control. Other guys will take that extra dribble and charge.
Tom Izzo just brought Bryn Forbes back into the game. Nairn sits down.
So he's got shooters all over the place with McQuaid and Forbes.
Costello's on the bench because he's got 4 fouls right now. We'll see when he comes back in. Valentine, yes!
It's the Valentine show. Hey, on Valentine's Day, he hit a winner to beat Ohio State, the Buckeyes, on Valentine's Day. How cool was that?
And he has given Michigan State its first lead since very early in the game.
Oh, then he's going to deflect the ball. He's had a steal. How hard they're playing. McQuaid's really playing hard.
And Kansas scrambling offensively right now. Bill Self pacing. And a foul going against the Spartans.
Looks like it's Valentine's Day right now. There's Mr. Valentine. Look at that backspin. Look at that backspin. Nothing but nylon. And the end. Look at that. Nothing but nylon.
Foul on McQuaid, his 3rd.
Free throw line has been big for Kansas tonight.
Mason's had a couple of misses, though. Missed 1 of 2, then missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Makes this one, and we'll get the second.
Well, he got the bounce to go his way. A lot of experience in that backcourt when you look at the Kansas team. Got a little balance between their backcourt, their front court. No matter who loses here, they're going to have a solid year. There's no question. These are talented basketball teams. They're very deep teams.
Yep. And by today's standards among the real elite teams, they're experienced teams.
Absolutely.
Got a lot of upperclassmen.
And winning experience is a difference now. Experience and a winner's mentality.
Forbes trying to get free of Graham.
That was all over for us, man. He's right in his face.
McQuaid, shot fake, puts it up and hits.
He can shoot it. That kid is going to get PT, Dad. He's going to get a lot of playing time. He's going to get a lot of playing time. No substitute for guys that can make shots.
Deep range, played well on Michigan State's summer trip in Italy, and he is earning some minutes, working his way into regular playing time with Michigan State. Graham can't answer at the other end. Valentine, another rebound.
Not a good look. Originally committed McQuaid to SMU. We documented that earlier.
Denzel Valentine has scored or assisted on the last 18 points for Michigan State.
Wow.
Incredible number.
Thank you, Mr. Madra. Right on top of it.
How'd you know he gave me that?
Man, I saw him give it to you. You got to have those guys play as assists. A little assist here and there. Got to give him some PR.
John Madry on his way to a triple-double. The force by Ford's shot clock violation and a timeout on the floor. What a comeback here in the second half by Michigan State, and it's a freshman, Matt McQuaid, knocking down another three. The Spartans lead by 2.
Hey, Sam.
The 2K Classic, a part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's, begins Friday at Madison Square Garden in New York City, Wisconsin, and Georgetown on ESPN2. Then Duke at ECU with a championship game Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. It has been, and bear with us if you've been with us all night, you've heard us talk about it again and again. But Denzel Valentine is having a night worth mentioning again and again.
Well, 23, 12, and 11. There he is right there. Great pass, great look. He has done a phenomenal job in every category. There he is driving to the basket. Shot the three, made the trifecta. We saw the drive, we saw the trifecta. We saw the passing of the basketball. Look at those numbers. Unbelievable. What a night. Those are Magic Johnson numbers. Those are the numbers Irvin put on when he played for Judd Heathcote.
And it has been quite a second half. Michigan State's got a 2-point lead. Kansas has the ball.
They were down as many as 13, were they not?
Selden, haven't heard much from him lately. Misses the drive.
Oh,
the foul is good for Ellis.
Terrific second rebound right there by Ellis. What a great job on the second shot rounder.
He's got 21, and it's tied again.
Good offensive rebound. Each possession gets bigger and bigger. Now remember, with the new rule, Valentine can take the ball. Now he can't hold it. Now right now there's no count. He can keep that ball. Last year was a 5-second count.
Shot clock running down. He slips inside and hits again.
What a tremendous move. Great ball fake, shoulder fake. That kid will be an All-American. He will be an All-American this year.
25 now for Valentine. Inside 2 minutes to go. Corner three is good. Selden gives Kansas the lead.
What a big-time game. What a great opening here for me for this year. What a way to start the season. Terrific. 2 quality teams, 2 quality coaches, superstar players, Valentine, Ellis.
Trying to turn the corner. Off the glass and in.
He can do no wrong, Dan. He can do no wrong. He's doing it all. He might as well go sell some popcorn as well.
27 for Valentine.
Nobody stays in front of him. They allow him to penetrate.
Mason finds a wide open Ellis. Ellis has it again. Out of bounds to Michigan State.
Tremendous effort right there by Ellis, but they come up empty. Michigan State right now with that 1-point lead. A minute and 11 on the clock.
And Bill Self will use his next to last timeout. Well, great sequence, Dick, and it began as most things have tonight with Denzel Valentine.
Well, we're going to watch Denzel. Look at that shoulder fake. He gets inside the defensive player, Ellis, and he lays it up with that good rotation, backspin, and he gets the soft touch. And then Mr. Selden says, well, wait a minute. You got 2, but I'm going to get 3. And he knocks down a trifecta. And then Valentine says, well, my 2 and another 2 gives me 4. And that 4 to your 3 is we lead by 1. Hey, pretty good math.
The old 6th grade math teacher from New Jersey coming out in you right there.
Wow. I'm all pumped up. Are you kidding me? I'm fired up. How could you not get fired up for this? Stealing money, making a living doing this.
It's a 1-point lead for Michigan State, and it's Michigan State ball with a minute 11 to go.
Timeout situation. 2-1. Look at Valentine's numbers. Incredible.
Gets out of the double team, finds Costello.
Tough pass. Oh, a star is born. He's going to be a big man on campus, Dad. Almost as big as you in Canada.
Matt McQuaid, the freshman, with another three, his third of the game.
The diaper dandy's been a deluxe.
Mason blocked by McQuaid.
Do you think he's going to earn some playing time?
Oh, boy.
You think he's going to get some playing time?
You know, the staff have said things like he may look like the kid next door, but he's got a lot more toughness in his game than people may realize, and he is having a really incredible night for Michigan State.
They are going to love him up there. The zone is going to love him. I told you earlier, there's nothing like guys that can make shots. So many guys have all the skills, but when it comes to shoot the ball, it's Brick City.
The officials going to the monitor to see who the ball went out of bounds off of in the last 2 minutes of regulation or the last 2 minutes of any overtime period. You can go to the monitor for that. It was a clean block by McQuaid. The question is, did it go out of bounds off Kansas or Michigan State? There's the block. And did it hit the left hand of Mason? It might have hit the left hand of Mason as he was going out of bounds. I think it's going to be Michigan State ball. Yeah, you see Mark Whitehead, one of the officials, walking over to the Kansas huddle and saying, white ball, it belongs to the Spartans.
Good job of officiating, making sure they get the right call. This year, one of the new rules also on the shot clock violations, not only the last 2 minutes, you can go look at the shot clock and the entire game in a monitor.
So Michigan State has the ball, a 4-point lead, and a full 30 seconds on the shot clock.
It's going to come down to making free throws, something they didn't do last year, but they're making them here tonight.
McQuaid has it poked away from behind. Selden, jump stop, and a block by Costello, and it's Spartans ball.
Tell you one thing, Costello's been really aggressive here tonight. He made the one silly play, the technical foul, which gave him an extra personal and took some minutes away. But other than that, he's been very effective on the inside.
And he's played really well down the stretch with 4 fouls.
And there he is, 4 fouls, making a play.
10 points, 9 rebounds tonight for Costello.
I want to pick the dribble up like he did.
Has it stolen.
And I think he got his 5th foul.
Yeah, he just fouled out, and Selden is going to the free throw line for 2.
Well, he made a mistake down there, picked up his dribble right away. I mean, gee whiz, can't do that. See right there? Gave up his dribble, come from behind, slapped the ball out of his hands, and then he makes contact.
And Tom Izzo was all over Denzel Valentine saying, you go get the ball. You know, don't leave it in the hands of a big guy underneath his own basket.
Denzel saying, Coach, I'm trying to do it all, Coach. Coach.
It's 27, 12, and 11.
Coach, what more do you want out of me, Coach? Coach, I'm giving you everything.
He is still getting an earful.
Look, you're the leader. Look, he's right after a little time. Time is what a master.
Another one of the new rules this year after disqualification, like we just had with Costello.
Time-wise.
Instead of 20 seconds, it's 15, and the officials, they're really rushing players back on the court. They want more action, speed up the game, the whole deal. Selden at the line for Kansas, 66% from the line a year ago. Traylor will return for the Jayhawks. And Mikhailuk will sit down.
Defensive player, rebounder. Foul line's been very positive for Kansas tonight.
Made them both. 2-point game.
Full court pressure.
Best back in for the first time in a while after Costello fouled out. And now it is Valentine with the ball. He gets fouled.
Well, it's very simple. You make your free throws, you're going to win. If you don't make your free throws, you're possibly going to lose.
That's the 7th, so 1-1 coming for Valentine.
Could this be a start of a big week for Spartan athletics? They got that big date with the Buckeyes. Football.
Valentine, a good free throw shooter, 83% last season, 4 for 6 tonight. This is 1-1.
He's a guy I'd want on the line if I'm Tom Izzo. I'd want him there. He's been clutch all night long.
Don't foul, just run back, says Tom Izzo.
It's nice when you got a kid locally like this, play high school basketball in Lansing.
29 for Valentine. 4-point game. Shot clock turned off.
Don't want to foul now. You want to play good, solid defense, but you don't want to foul. You don't want to stop that clock.
Selden. Misses the three, belongs to Michigan State again. And Davis gets fouled and will head to the free throw line.
There was a sequence earlier in this game when they were down 13. You thought it was going to be a long, long day here when you looked at Michigan State. You thought it was going to be a long, long day here when you looked at Michigan State. But people, just tells you the reflections of that coach. That coach is a fighter, a battler, and his kids really follow that pattern. You know, it's amazing, man, both coaches. We know both are going to head to the Hall of Fame. But they're really Hall of Fame people as well. If you get to know these guys, I know what they've done for us, for my gala, for the V Foundation. They're just terrific people.
Davis makes the first.
I'd be smiling too. He's smiling.
What a turnaround in this game. Tom Izzo said it at halftime. He was ecstatic to be down only 6. It got up to 13. And Michigan State has roared back. And they're on the cusp of a really impressive victory, a hard-fought victory led by Valentine and the freshman Matt McQuaid.
And the type of dandy stepped up, but the star of stars certainly has to be Mr. Valentine. He's been a super here tonight.
Mason for 3. Selden with a rebound. He'll lean in and try a 3. Valentine another rebound, and Michigan State has the victory. And they earned it on this night. Nothing came easy for them. McQuaid stepping up, Denzel Valentine with a night of his life. Just the 4th player in Michigan State to record a triple-double. And Michigan State beats Kansas 79-73.
I'll tell you what, you can't sing the praises, Dan, any more than you have about Valentine, and it's certainly deserved it. He was absolutely solid goal, a PTPer, a primetime performer in every way. Brilliant. And also McQuaid right there. That type of Danny made some big, big shots. They defended well, and we're going to see these are 2 quality basketball teams.
A huge night for Valentine. 29 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, and Michigan State beats Kansas 79-73. Valentine celebrating on the court. Shannon Spake trying to corral him.
Well,
Come
I
on,
hope
Shannon.
he's celebrating, Dan. What a night. Look at you. He's trying to get the fans into it. Well, when we spoke earlier today, you told me that you guys wanted to come out and set the tone for the season. What kind of tone exactly did you set for the season tonight?
We just wanted to win. That's the main point. We just wanted to win. That was our word for the day, is win. It wasn't pretty, you know. I probably shot awful from the field. Didn't have the best numbers, you know. We had a lot of turnovers. We didn't play the best defense, but, you know, we just got the job done.
Well, how about these for numbers? A triple-double, 29 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists. Which one of those are you most proud of?
I'm proud of the assists. You know, points is points, you know. I took a lot of shots. I really wasn't efficient. But credit to my teammates, you know. They battled. You know, when I was struggling, Marvin Clark, you know, he was saying, you know, Zell, you're going to win. You're going to lead us to a victory. And I just believed in it all game and went to the free throw line early second half. You know, missed 2 free throws and knocked down 2 big ones. And credit Deontay for those 2 free throws at the end.
You told me the question you wanted answered tonight would be how you guys could overcome adversity. What's the answer?
You know, we just got to stay with it, you know, stay consistent. You know, when stuff goes wrong, you know, just keep battling, keep fighting. You know, we were down 11 in the second half, but, you know, we didn't quit. You know, we kept battling. Coach was on me, and I love him for that. You know, he's a great coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach, and, you know, that's why he's so great, is because he pushes players to be great. And he pushed me to be great tonight and my teammates.
I see that smile coming out. You go enjoy this one.
Oh, thank you. EAC.
What a night for Denzel Valentine, and what a night for Michigan State. They roar back from 13 down, and they beat Kansas 79-73 in the second game of the State Farm Champions Classic. For Dick Vitale, Shannon Spake, and the crew, I'm Dan Schulman. Thanks for watching from Chicago. SportsCenter is coming up next.